Y'all good? On behalf of the entire village of Tinley Park, I'd like to offer my sincerest condolences to everyone who knew and loved Mia. By all accounts, she was a lovely young woman at a very beginning of her life. A life that she will now never get to fulfill. To her family, friends, and fellow students at Andrew High School, we mourn her passing with you. Thank you.
I am Chief Matthew Walsh, M-A-T-T-H-E-W, W-A-L-S-H. Before I begin, I just want to make a correction. I had that he was a male 40. He's 42. I just wanted to let you know. I had put 40s and I never changed it. So anyhow, with me, I have Village Manager Patrick Carr, Fire Chief Steve Klotz, Detective Chief Larry Rafferty, and Detective Sergeant Bill Devine, and Michael Glotz, our mayor. I'm going to read a quick statement, then I'll answer questions, any questions you may have. On Sunday, May 1st, police were dispatched to 7806 West 167th Street for a possible death investigation. Upon arrival, officers encountered Mohammed Al-Maru, a male 42, who is the father of the victim. Mohammed had self-inflicted wounds to his wrist and throat and had ingested pills. He was taken to Christ Hospital where he was stabilized. Also on scene was deceased 17-year-old female, now identified as Mia Maro, Mohammed's daughter. The medical examiners determined that her cause of death was due to multiple injuries and has ruled it a homicide. The offender was intubated and unable to be questioned until late Monday. Based on the information gathered by detectives, we were able to get Mohammed charged with first-degree murder. I'll take any questions. It's basically, I just went along with what the press release was as well. Well, she had serious bruising throughout her whole body. There was no one injury that the medical examiner felt comfortable to state that that was the cause, so they just called it death to multiple injuries.
Can you talk about possibly a lead-up to all of this? What happened? We heard from neighbors regarding.
Well, we heard that there was possibly some domestic stuff in the past, but we were only one call we have had here, and that was for a medical reason, unrelated to the daughter, the father, anybody. So we don't know. He's not cooperating. He's still under medical care.
The mom 3 years ago had a medical situation, but she lost oxygen to her brain. Was this man ever investigated? Was there any investigation back then?
As far as I know, no. But yeah, but she did. But that was the medical issue that you were referring to. That's the call that we had. Yeah, the only one.
And do you suspect there was abuse leading up to this incident on Sunday, like bruising all over the body?
I don't know. He's not talking. I don't want to speculate.
Who called in?
Who called in? I don't know. You know, I have to look at the dispatch log. I think somebody said that the aunt had shown up at the house, so it may have been her or one of the kids. You know who calls dispatch?
It was the aunt.
It was the aunt, the offender's sister.
Do you know how many people were living in the house, including other children?
Do I know? I know that there's a couple of, he has a couple of sons, and I think she's the only daughter. I'm not certain, but so there was 3 or 4 children. I don't know if they're still living there. I don't know how old they are.
You know how many people were in the home at the time?
No, Mike, I don't.
Can you just talk about, a young girl, you kind of mentioned she had her whole life ahead of her. She, I believe, was set to graduate. Just what a loss this is for her peers, for the community.
Oh, it's an absolute tragic loss. A lot of officers and others in the community have been calling me. They have children of the same age. They know this girl. They like this girl. They're friends with her. And, again, I would speak to Andrew High School. They're offering counseling. Orland Park has given us a comfort dog that is really working out well at the school. And people are traumatized by this. It's absolutely tragic.
Can you talk about what sort of change now that we have this press conference here at 3 o'clock? What sort of change that led you to finally ask for charges to be filed?
The detectives, and I'm not going to get into exactly what they've done because again, he's not cooperating, but we were able to obtain enough in working with the state's attorney for a couple of days enough where they were comfortable charging with first-degree murder.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? You said your previous call to the house was for this particular mother?
Yeah, it was just a medical call. Oh, with her, I don't know. I have no. I don't know what occurred back then.
And Chief, is he the biological father?
From what I understand, yes.
Does he have any criminal background?
No.
And again, the only report that you had prior to this was a medical emergency.
Right.
And the family, they've lived in the community, do you know for how long?
From what I've been told, that the older males that had gone to Andrew High School, but I don't believe that they lived at that residence more than 3 or 4 years. But they had to live somewhere nearby. I don't know where.
Did anybody witness this and try to intercede?
Did they what?
Did anybody witness this attack or try to intercede?
No, nobody did.
Nobody?
No, where the location, Mike, is kind of secluded down in the basement, and I don't know who was home, if anybody. And if it was the mother, like you're alluding to, she has medical conditions, so I don't know that she would have been able to do anything about it anyhow.
Chief, can you talk about when you guys arrived on scene, what that was like, what you were witnessing, what you saw immediately?
Well, the officers, because of this event and because of the 17-year-old, it's affected our officers, and we have talked to them. We want to get them help as well. And when they showed up on scene, he had superficial cuts to his throat, he had cuts to his wrist. He had taken, the doctor said that when he arrived, he was under several narcotics. We don't know which ones. There were prescriptions there. So it was very traumatizing for the officers too, but we're trying to work through it with them too, just to have them an avenue to speak to people. Trinity Services has offered their help, and they do a lot with people that need to talk things out. So, but yeah, it was very traumatic. I mean, I was not on scene with the officers, but the ones that were there, it affected them, and it affects even the senior officers or people with more time on the job, because they have children the same age, you know. So this is very tragic. It's very sad.
What about their engagement with her finally? What was that? Did they see her? Did they discover her? How did that all kind of...
Well, once they got him assistance, because they weren't sure what was going on, then they discovered her, and then obviously it was a crime scene, and we just do what we do, you know, get the people there, get them to process it, get all the evidence we can. Actually, you seal off the house and you get a search warrant first, so it's all time consuming, and but that's what they did when they got there.
Was it a search of the home, or did he actually say she was in this lower
No, we had to get a search warrant.
Where was the father? Because police also found him, according to the release, having been taking pills.
I don't know exactly where he was, but he was in the nearby area where the daughter was found.
And the mugshot, is this a recent mugshot of him?
As far as I know, yes, it was just recent. Well, I shouldn't say it was recently taken. Do you know when they took that?
That's his driver's license photo.
Okay, it's driver's license photo. So I wasn't sure. I didn't take it.
You said the father is still in medical care.
Yes.
Do you anticipate him being released from the hospital soon, or is he in a hospital?
I can't speak to that. I don't know. You know, we're hoping that if he is, then we can get him to court and get the ball rolling on this. But right now, he's still under medical care.
Is he conscious?
Right now, in and out, because some of the medical procedures that they were doing, he wasn't responding, he wasn't talking, and so I can't speak to that. I don't know, but he's not been totally conscious. I don't have anything on him. No.
And no response for any domestic incidents at the house at all?
No. The one call was the medical call.
Have you discovered that subsequently with neighbors or talking to other people?
Discovered what?
In terms of domestic incidents, I mean, just in terms of people saying there was something that would relate to a domestic incident.
You know what? I don't know. I wasn't in on the interviews with that, so I can't speak to that.
What's next in the investigation? Just more witness interviews?
Well, part of the reason we're trying to tie up loose ends, so we don't want to go exactly what we're doing or what's next, because there are some loose ends that still need to be tied up. We still need to get them into court, and we still need to hopefully no bond and hold them there and go from there. So no, there's just tying up loose ends.
So did the father and the daughter live at home?
Yes.
And do you know who else lived in the house?
I don't. I say I don't know how old the older brothers are.
Any sense of how soon before he would be able to appear for bail here? Would he be able to do that from his house?
Well, the lead detective is down right now trying to get a minimus so that we can turn him over to the custody of Department of Corrections. We're in the process of doing that now, but that still doesn't mean that he's going to be moved at any time because he's, like I said, he's still under medical care.
You mentioned about the therapy dog that's being used at Andrew.
Right. Yeah, Orland Park provided it to us, thankfully, and it's working out very well.
Finally, can you just speak on the outpouring of support within the community? I mean, we're so close to the home, and there are balloons, and it seems people are really touched.
It's the talk of the town. Everybody is concerned about it. It's tragic. A kid that was getting ready to get out of high school, go to prom, move on with her life, and then now it's not going to happen. Again, going back to what I was talking about before, so many people have contacted me that either knew the person or just knew of what happened and how tragic it is. And there has been a ton of outpouring, and people have really been supportive. Okay? Thank you. Yeah, okay. Seriously? What mic?
This one right here. This one's ours. Yeah.
Well, I spoke loud enough, I hope.
Well, yeah. I mean, they all have their own microphones.
Right.
It should be all right, but.
Hey.